Jesse Minter has finally spoken, and what he said about the Ravens roster completely changes how you look at this team right now. After a season that fell well short of expectations and months of speculation about where the franchise was headed, the new head coach laid it all out, what he walked into in Baltimore, what he truly sees in this roster, and why he believes this group can still surprise a lot of people. And this isn't just surface-level praise or a standard introductory speech. Between the lines, Minter drops clear hints about what needs to change, what already in the past, and just how far this roster can go if everything clicks the right way. His comments help explain why the Ravens didn't blow everything up, and why the next few moves could shape the future of this franchise much faster than most people expect. Stick around until the end, because every detail of what he said helps complete this puzzle. When Jesse Minter looks at the Ravens roster, the first thing that jumps out is the contrast. This isn't a full rebuild. This isn't a team starting from scratch. Just 2 years ago, this same core was one win away from the Super Bowl. The talent didn't just disappear overnight. It's still there, spread across the roster, waiting for someone to put the pieces together the right way. The problem is that 2025 showed how unforgiving the NFL can be when things don't line up. Even with quality players, the team couldn't find consistency, dropped games it had no business losing, and finished below .500. That creates a strange feeling, frustration on one hand, but also the clear sense that this roster ceiling is much higher than what we just saw. Minter knows he's taking over a group that disappointed, but not one that forgot how to play football. It's like stepping into a team that knows what it's like to win in January, but forgot how to get there week after week. There's no shortage of experience, no lack of physicality, and no missing history of success. What was missing was direction, identity, and continuity. And that's where the weight of a new head coach really comes into play, especially one who understands what Baltimore has always valued on the field. This starting point matters because it sets the tone for everything that follows. Minter doesn't sound like someone who needs to tear the roster down. He sounds like someone who sees real value in what's already there. And when he starts praising how this roster was built, it becomes clear that before any major changes happen, the priority is fully understanding what he has in his hands. When Minter talks about the Ravens roster, there's a genuine sense that he likes what he sees. This isn't empty coach speak. He makes it clear that he sees real talent, a roster built with purpose, balance, and identity. For a coach just walking through the door, that changes everything, because the foundation is already solid. He sees players who fit the way he understands football. That means there's no immediate clash of ideas. The style of play, the physical mindset, the emphasis on defense and team-first football, it's all already there. Minter doesn't need to sell the locker room on something completely new. He just needs to align everyone in the same direction. That also explains why he keeps using the word build, even with a roster that's already in place. Building isn't just about adding new players. It's about adjusting roles, defining responsibilities, and helping every piece produce more than it did before. To Minter, this roster isn't a problem to fix. It's a base to maximize. And when a coach believes in the roster from day one, the conversation naturally shifts. Instead of focusing only on change, it turns toward work, process, and commitment. Because recognizing talent is just the first step, the real challenge is demanding that it shows up on the field. Minter makes it very clear that liking the roster doesn't mean expecting everything to magically fix itself. Quite the opposite. He repeatedly emphasizes that football is about daily work, shared routines, and collective commitment. It's not enough for everyone to just do their own job. The team has to function as one. He talks about being together, building habits, and repeating processes until they become second nature. That shows the focus isn't on quick fixes, but on creating a reliable standard of play. A team that knows exactly what to do when games get tight and things start going sideways. That message directly connects to what was missing in 2025. Talent flashed in moments, but consistency never followed. Minter seems to understand that the issue wasn't ability, it was connection. Good players who aren't fully aligned don't go far in the NFL. By stressing this from the very beginning, he's setting the stage for something bigger. Before diving into schemes, play calls, or fine-tuning details, he makes it clear that success starts with everyday habits. And that opens a door to the next step, how he plans to lead this group.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
Even coming from a Harbaugh coaching tree, Minter is quick to say he's not trying to copy anyone. He respects John Harbaugh, worked under him for years, but understands that leadership doesn't work as a carbon copy. Every head coach needs their own voice in the locker room. His focus is on connection, getting to know players, understanding who they are as people, and creating an environment where everyone feels invested in the process. It's not about barking louder. It's about getting the group to fully buy in. For Minter, a team only grows when everyone feels like they're building something together. That shift in approach also marks an important transition. The cultural foundation stays the same, but the way the group is led changes. Small adjustments in communication, approach, and accountability can create a massive difference in overall performance. And this is where Minter's hiring starts to make even more sense for the franchise, because keeping your identity doesn't mean standing still. It means knowing exactly where to adjust without breaking what has always worked in Baltimore. Choosing Minter shows the Ravens didn't want to flip the table completely. The franchise still believes in its identity, the culture built over decades, and its core football philosophy. At the same time, they recognize that something had to change for the results to follow again. Minter steps right into that delicate space between continuity and evolution. He knows the team's DNA, but he also arrives with the responsibility of pushing the right buttons. Not all at once, just the ones that can unlock the potential that stayed hidden last season. The most important part is that the roster allows for this kind of adjustment. This isn't a limited group or one stuck with a low ceiling with the right leadership. It's a roster that can compete at the highest level in the AFC and return to being a regular presence deep in the playoffs. Now it all comes down to execution. If Minter can align talent, daily work, and leadership, the Ravens aren't far from being back in the Super Bowl conversation. The path isn't easy, but the starting point is far better than most people realize. What becomes clear after listening to Jesse Minter is that the Ravens aren't starting from scratch, but they're also not pretending nothing went wrong. There's talent, structure, and a recent history of being a legitimate contender. At the same time, there's a quiet acknowledgement that something slipped and needs to be corrected with care, method, and leadership. This isn't a bet on a revolution, but on a realignment that could unlock far more than what we saw in 2025. Minter arrives with a simple, direct message that fits Baltimore's culture perfectly. Daily work, strong locker room connection, and a clear on-field identity. He doesn't promise shortcuts, doesn't sell quick fixes, and doesn't lean on a franchise's past success. The focus is on turning potential into consistency, the true difference between real contenders and teams that only flash greatness. Now I want to hear what you think. Do you believe Jesse Minter is the right coach to get the most out of this Ravens roster, or do you think the team needed a more drastic change? Drop your opinion in the comments, because this conversation is just getting started, and what's coming next in Baltimore could be something special.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.